Looks like today's gonna be one of those days where I find out what kind of radio professional I am. We got no internet. What's going on around here? Jade Davis, where you at? Come fix it. Yeah, bummer. Oh well, I do have a phone with data on it, so I can still look up garbage information to share with you and brighten up your day. All right, one of the things that I scrolled to on my phone was from the No Stupid Questions subreddit. What should you say to a person that knocks on a public toilet door while you're doing your business and demands you to leave? Well, I could think of a two-word phrase that I'm not allowed to say on the radio. That's where my brain goes. But let's see their situation here. So, I had sat down on the seat of a public toilet just a few seconds ago when someone knocked on the door and told me to get up and leave in an annoyed tone. I told them there was another toilet down the hall. They should go there. The person then told me, "No, you should go there. I'm here with a child." I told them I simply could not get up at the moment, and they told me, "Yes, you can. I'm here with a child. Children come first." What do you do in a situation like that? Sorry. I mean, you can't really just get up and leave in the middle of your business. They only do that in movies. You ever notice that watching a movie? Anytime somebody uses the facilities, they just pull their pants up and walk away. It's like, ooh, gross. That is grody. All right, let's see what the internet suggests you tell people. Because my two-word phrase, I'm sure it'll pop up in here somewhere, but it's not the most clever of a response. Come back with a warrant. Pretty good. I mean, this parent, if they have a child that needs to go to the bathroom, what kind of message are you telling your kids when you're screaming at someone who's sitting down, doing their thing, and you're pounding on the door, screaming at a stranger to get up and leave? Try to be a good influence on your kids, people. Let's see here. All right, what else do we have? Tell them it's time. Tell them in the time it's taken them to argue with you. Yeah, they could have already gone to the other bathroom. Precisely. If your kid needs to go, somebody's in the stall, there's another one available. Just go. Go to the other one. Enough with the, drama and fighting and fussing. I'd probably say now's a wonderful time to teach your kid about patience. And then there's my two-word phrase. All right. Who does that? I can't imagine pounding on the door of a stall unless it was like a dire emergency. And then you have to be nice. You have to, please, just get up, please. Yeah, you don't just demand it. You beg. You gotta beg in those situations. Well, I've got to say, I hate having to try to pull up content for the radio show on my phone. All right? Not a fan. Let's see here. What's going on at eastidahonews.com? Well, they've got a variety of features you may or may not have checked out. Yesterday, I talked about the East Idaho Eats. Find yourself a new place to go get a delicious meal. But aside from that, they've got all kinds of stuff in there. You could look at historical crap from the region with the looking back this week in history. Kind of interesting. They looked back this week, and there's an article about a mysterious cave full of skeletons. Yeah, okay, let's find out more. Sounds suspicious to me. All right, this was back in 1913, a group of local men went to explore a mysterious cave full of skeletons located about 40 miles west of Idaho Falls. I guess someone named A. Empey found this cave in 1912. Said he found several skeletons and took 4 skulls. All right, dude, that's how you end up getting cursed. All right? Leave the skulls while they're at, or where they're at. Jeez. So frazzled today, simply by lack of internet. So, at some point, he brought the skulls to Idaho Falls. Hey, dudes, check it out. I found some skulls, man. Look at these pretty metal skulls. And some guys are like, well, where did you find them? Let's go check it out. So they went to the cave. They found 11 human skulls, 3 arrows with feathers on them, 1 arrowhead, part of a bow, buffalo horns, a petrified buffalo hoof, and the complete carcass of a mountain lion. And the newspaper said it wasn't clear who the people were or how they got there in the first place. Well, it sounds like, this was their final resting place, right? Leave them be. What is up with... I don't know. I am interested in archaeology and things like that. But sometimes you just go, well, I don't know if these folks intended, when they laid their loved ones to rest, for somebody to eventually be on the History Channel. Check out these skulls. These skulls are awesome. Totally metal. Then they put you in a museum. Yeah, I mean, I'd be down with it. I talked about it, I think, last week. I want my skull in the Museum of Idaho. All right? That's the only part of the exhibit we need, because it's got to be metal. So it needs to be my skull only. I keep forgetting to fill my kids in on this one. I'm going to have a ridiculous plan left for them. Now, all right, what did Dad want? What did he want when he passed on? Most people have some simple instructions. Get me cremated, spread my ashes here. No, I need you to find a, mortician who's willing to boil my head and take my skull, deliver it to the Museum of Idaho in Idaho Falls. I think I gotta have some bones dropped off at the museum at ISU in Pocatello as well. Where I was born there. Gotta give some props to my hometown. Give some bones to my hometown. Which Pokey probably deserves the skull more, right? But the Museum of Idaho is bigger, a little flashier. Got them tall ceilings. Yeah. All right, anyway. This is what happens when I don't have internet. Things start getting weird on this program. Plus, I'm chugging more coffee. I kind of feel like just going off the rails on this show today. If the internet was working, I'd just stream live. I'd go straight nuts. Welcome to the history-themed edition of the Viktor Wilt Show. We're just going to do Idaho history. Until Jade gets here and fixes the internet or texts me and Josh back and tells us how to fix it. So let's continue on with, what's the name of this section at eastidahonews.com? Looking back. We talked about the cave full of bones. Well, let's go to Rigby and talk about the human fly. A man known as the human fly stopped in Rigby to entertain community members on April 25th, 1935. D.D. Rowland of Pittsburgh visited Rigby. Okay, this is not a dig on Rigby. But why Rigby? This has to be the most exciting thing that has ever happened in Rigby. The human fly visiting. And why would somebody from Pittsburgh visit Rigby in 1935? How many people lived in Rigby in 1935? There's not very many people in Rigby right now. Okay, anyway, sorry. Again, it wasn't a dig on Rigby. I'm just kind of wondering, was Rigby bigger than Idaho Falls at the time? Why didn't Idaho Falls get the human fly? Okay, so he visited Rigby and put on a show for spectators, climbed the roof of the Rigby Hotel, balanced himself on 2 chairs on top of the building, and carried his wife while he was blindfolded across the edge of the roof of the building. And apparently, during his years of being the human fly, why is he the human fly? I'm trying to envision this. Balanced himself on 2 chairs on the top of the building and carried his wife while he was blindfolded across the edge of the roof. So were the chairs, I mean, was he holding on to them? And so he kind of looked like a fly because he had chair legs? I don't know. They say he only fell one time after a pigeon smashed into his face, causing him to fall 55 feet, put him out a year and a half. Year and a half, he couldn't work as a human fly. So, yeah, that happened. Was that the most exciting thing to ever happen in Rigby? I mean, somebody broke into the Rigby airport in 1961. I'm learning something new today. Rigby had or has an airport? What? Let's see. Let's see if on my phone. It is such a pain to look up radio content on my phone. Rigby, Idaho Airport. Is it just where the crop dusters park? Because I know like Arco has an airport. I'm doing the air quotes here. But it's basically just a landing strip. There is an airport in Rigby. What? Okay, it's a general aviation friendly airport. I mean, I would assume it's just where you land the crop duster. It's going to be a strip, right? Just an airstrip. They're calling it an airport. I'd like to get a flight from Rigby to... Where are you going to go? Idaho Falls, where you can get a real plane? I'm just playing Rigby. Hey, you know, with as much fun as we poke at Rexburg and Firth, gotta poke some fun at Rigby every now and again. And I, poke fun at every city in East Idaho on any given day, all right? What, don't believe me? I'll try to dig up some kind of dumb news about Idaho Falls, Pocatello, and, we'll give Rexburg the pass today. Anyway, this is going to be real fun. I'm going to try to dig up freak news on my phone. Oh, jeez. This is going to be a nightmare. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. Can somebody fax me the latest news stories like the old days of radio? Get that fax machine up and running? All right. I'll be back. All right. If you are listening right now, I would assume you're listening on the regular radio. Sorry about the app issues, everybody. Hopefully when Jade gets here, he can fix our internet woes. It'll make my job easier, and it'll make it so you can hear the station better, since everything's kind of tied together. All right. Anyway, it's been a morning. It's been a morning so far. Glad that I got a lot done the last few days. All right, let's try to do freak news with content from my phone here. Thank you to listener Stuart, who called and reminded me about Jonathan Davis's new line of dog leashes. Well, dog apparel. You've got collars, leashes, etc. The Freak on a Leash line, of course. What else would the front man of Korn call his dog collars? Anyway, they're pretty metal looking, spikes and stuff. But what about the cats? Where are your cat collars at, Jonathan? Now, I didn't read the entire article, so there may be some cat collars. Let's go to freakonaleash.com and let's give it a look here. All right, we're going to go to collars. Those all look like dog collars to me. They are pretty cool, though. They are pretty nice. Oh, there's a cat collar. All right, look at that. $22. Green stone, black with green stones. All right. Well, that's a cool one with the spikes there. I think there's only like 2 cat collars. All right, well, at least he put out some cat collars. I'm still cool with Jonathan Davis. What else is going on in the world of stupid news? There are a number of Egyptologists saying that the articles that were making the rounds about, these structures under the pyramids, they're calling it a bunch of flim-flam, saying this is ridiculous. They're built on a flat plateau, okay? All right? They're not pillars going hundreds of feet underground. That article was so prevalent. I mean, there was a brief moment before I started Googling when that first dropped that I was like, wow, this must be real. But then I Googled it, like everybody should do when it comes to news that seems unbelievable. Look around a little bit. People are never going to learn. Never going to learn. All right, what else do we have here? All right, let's see. Mark Zuckerberg says social media is over. Really? Doubt it. I doubt it. I mean, maybe the whole social angle to it, unless you consider screaming at each other all day a social activity. Man, it is tough to do freak news on a phone. I mean, I've got tabs open and things like that, but it just doesn't work nicely. Kind of sucks. So hopefully Jade will be able to fix things when he gets here. All right, what else do we have here? A convicted cardinal demands to be part of conclave to choose new pope, setting up a Vatican standoff. Well, it's 2025. Well, I think in this day and age, you can be convicted of multiple crimes, and you never know how far you might be able to go. So, yeah, this is the kind of precedent that gets set. How bad do your crimes have to be for you to not be able to take part in electing the new pope? This guy was convicted of financial crimes. Well, I think we've learned recently that the public doesn't care about white-collar crime. Fraud and things like that. Just turn a blind eye. Who cares, right? If you're just ripping off the common man, oh well. Oh, I just saw Peaches walk by. Peaches in the house. All right, so we'll get the Peaches vacation recap here in a minute. In the meantime, I'm going to try to find some other things to talk about utilizing my phone as my source for information. Feel free to send me a fax of the latest news headlines. All right, I guess I got to give a shout out to Jade. He fixed the internet. Yay! Now I can officially start doing the show. All right, speaking of shows, YouTubers, they pretty much put on online shows, and a lot of them are kind of dumb. Got a 24-year-old American YouTuber arrested in New Delhi, India, after visiting an off-limits island in the Indian Ocean with hopes of establishing contact with a reclusive tribe. All right, I'm not even going to attempt to say this guy's name, but he does have the word Victor in the middle. Viktorovich. Okay, maybe I will try to say his name. Mikhailo Viktorovich Polyakov. Yeah, he's got an appearance coming up in court after he set foot on the restricted territory of North Sentinel Island. Wanted to, go ahead and meet the reclusive Sentinelese tribe. Hold on, I gotta sneeze. Oh, there's a lot of sneezes there. Anyway, back to this guy. What an idiot! Have you not seen the videos of people who go and try to meet these, tribes that are completely cut off from the outside world? That's a great way to get yourself killed. This guy is lucky to only be in jail. And I guess he left him a can of Diet Coke and a coconut as an offering. Thankfully, he didn't find them. YouTubers, man. They'll do anything for views. And he didn't even get any content out of it. All he got was sent to jail. And I don't know a lot about India, but any kind of a foreign prison sounds kind of frightening to me. I mean, regular jail it's not great, right? But in a country where you don't really know what's potentially going to happen to you, dude should have just stayed in Arizona. There has to be a lot of content you can make in Phoenix, okay? The guys from Scottsdale. Roll into Phoenix. It's getting hot. Cook an egg on a mailbox. I don't know. Avoid tribes that could potentially kill and eat you. Yeah. It's happened, all right? Hey, you ever seen that movie Cannibal Holocaust? It's pretty messed up. It's not real, but there have been a number of people killed in these situations. And also, you don't know what kind of, viruses you're packing. You might end up wiping out a whole tribe just by, hey, hi, it's me. I'm ready to put you on my YouTube channel. You know, you don't want to wipe out an entire tribe for clicks, buddy. Peaches in the house. What up?
Good morning.
Good morning. How was your vacation, Peaches?
It was great. I did about 4 trips to LA, which no one should ever do. And even just leaving the Santa Ana airport, I got welcomed back to gridlock traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great being stuck in traffic for, hours and hours.
Right. Yeah. I don't know why I don't know when my dad picked this up. He now has this horrible habit of just tapping the brake pedal. And it's like, I don't know if you've ever been on the Indiana Jones ride at Disneyland where you're bumping all over the place.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that the whole time.
Oh, so kind of like driving around in my truck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except I don't have to tap the brake to have it do it. It just does it.
Right.
Does it for me.
Extra fun on the road.
Yeah, it's, kind of like going to Lagoon every day. It's fantastic.
Right, yeah.
Right on. Well, did you do anything exciting? We know you went to AC/DC. We saw some video footage you posted.
The very first day I was out there, I went to Amoeba Records, went out to LA, saw my friend Matt, went with my friend Christian there, and went to Amoeba, went to like a different record store, went to the Taco Bell Cantina, which was
Taco Bell Cantina.
Yeah. Have you ever been to one of those?
No.
There's one in Vegas that's about, I think, like 2 stories.
Okay.
That's the ideal one to go to. The one that we initially wanted to go to was the one in Newport Beach.
Okay.
First world problem, only open on weekends.
Oh no.
Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, and that's it. Luckily, we checked instead of driving all the way down to Newport and become heavily disappointed. We're like, okay, there's one on Hollywood Boulevard. We might as well go to that one because my friend Matt is right there.
All right.
And there's nothing special really about it.
I was going to ask, what's the difference between that and a regular Taco Bell?
They sell alcohol.
You don't drink alcohol,
I know,
Peaches.
I know.
So you just went to Taco Bell.
But it is fancy on the inside too.
Oh,
There's
God.
there's a whole chandelier. There's posters everywhere. It looks like how Taco Bell should be.
Okay. I think Taco Bell should look like it looked back in the 90s.
That is true. that color scheme is way cooler.
That's right. The pink and green and, the old school. All of the fast food restaurants were way cooler when I was a kid. Like, look at how boring McDonald's is now. I feel bad for kids nowadays.
It goes back to that theory that we're turning into the giver. Everything's going to become monochromatic.
I know. It's awful. We already live in a place where everyone paints all their houses white or tan or brown.
Look what they did to the Pringles man. He has no hair now. He lost the life in his eyes. He aged like us.
Yeah, there used to be some really fun fast food restaurants. And, the toys outside, I remember being terrified of the toys at Burger King on the corner of Yellowstone and Alameda in Pocatello. It was an outside playground. And when you're a kid, everything seems way bigger. So it's probably not actually as towering and terrifying as I remember. But it was awesome, man. We used to have dangerous toys. You'd go on the slide and it would burn the crap out of you. It was, a lot more exciting when we were kids. You could die much easier.
Oh, there was a park, Rossmore Park, as a kid that was all wood. And I remember there was also
splinters,
metal rollers too. Yeah, and I got a splinter on my butt when I was a young kid. And then they demolished that playground shortly after. And it's so much cooler now.
Yeah. Now everything's just made out of plastic, nice and boring. All right, so how was the AC/DC show? I know we've got people from the area going down to Vegas for the same show this weekend.
Well, first of all, I was very upset that I found out after the show that Axl Rose and Slash were right there in my section, and I had no idea.
How do you miss Axl? I could see you miss him. He kind of looks like an old lady nowadays.
Yeah.
But Slash...
He looks like that Fratelli lady from the Goonies.
He does.
Yeah.
He looks a lot like her. So I could see you missing him, but Slash seems like he'd be easy to spot.
Well, he doesn't wear the top hat in public. He just wears that on stage.
Oh, okay. So he just had the Howard Stern hair going on.
Yeah, not even the Howard Stern hair. He kind of looks like every rocker dude, to be quite honest. He's almost 60, isn't he?
There were probably lots of rockers at that show.
Oh, yeah. So the worst part about the show, I'll start with the bad and end up with the good.
Okay.
The worst part about that show is that there was people in our section that had no idea where to go.
Okay.
Even though their ticket says this section, there's signs that say this section, these seats, where am I sitting? Like, they're all like drunk already. Where do I go? And then there was a family that was to our left that kept going in and out of the row. So I had to keep standing up and I had to back up a little bit. My butt was in the people behind me's faces.
Well, when you drink beer, you got to pee a lot, I guess, Peaches.
Like, one guy, I counted, he had 3 of those $17 pizzas that are like the size of a hockey puck.
Holy cow.
Yeah. And parking there, $75.
$75 to park.
Luckily, we parked at a lot that was $30, took the shuttle to the venue. They were really on top of that.
Only $30, and you still have to take a bus.
Yeah, they were shocked when I told them, like, yeah, I'm in Idaho. We don't have to pay to park. Same with Salt Lake City. I mean, the most you'll see is like $10 if you really...
Yeah.
I mean, Boise, there might be some.
Yeah, I mean, the Idaho Center, they charge for parking, don't they? I think they do.
There was nobody there the last time that I was there.
Yeah.
I pulled up so early that there was nobody working, so you just parked for free at that time.
Yeah, and it's been a while since I saw a show there, so I don't know.
And you could also, besides the fans, you could also tell AC/DC was showing their age by playing the songs much slower. Thunderstruck was dun 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 dun. It was like that.
Really slow?
And Highway to Heck was like na na na. No.
Well, those guys are pretty old.
Well,
so.
I didn't realize Brian was 60 when I saw him in 2008. He's now 77 years old.
That's wild.
He's performing with a sprained, like, twisted foot. He had a walking boot on, and he's walking around still, singing along. Angus was moving around the same way he always does.
Yeah, props to him for keeping it going. I hope that I'm just alive at, like, 70. If I make it to 70, I will be pumped.
Yeah.
I will be way stoked.
Old man Victor would be so adorable.
Yeah. I mean, if I make it to 50, I'll be like, I've made it to 50.
Oh, you're 8 years away?
50.
That's it?
Oh, don't remind me. That's, like, I don't know. Probably by the time you get close to it, you won't care. Like, when I was going to turn 40, a lot of people freak out about 40. A lot of people freak out about 30. At the time, I didn't care. But 50 sounds scary to me. That sounds like you're... No offense to the people who are listening who are 50, but...
You're old!
It sounds so old to me. I can't imagine being 50, but I don't feel mentally like a 42-year-old either.
Well, there was a meme that kept popping up over the weekend that was like, hey, just a reminder, the average lifespan is 76, so middle age is technically 38. And I'm like, I'm 10 years away from that.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all.
I'm over the hill. I'm past middle age.
You're borrowed time.
I'm old and decrepit at this point. I might as well just give up.
But yeah, we left about after the 20th song, and we got out of there pretty fast. I mean, it was a fun show regardless, and got a cool poster out of it.
Nice.
Got a cool AC/DC trading card. The pop-up store was hilarious because you can tell they're used to being in better locations than LA. But the place that they were at in Melrose had all this graffiti all over the glass. So you couldn't see the lightning bolts or the AC/DC logo. You just saw, like, I don't know what it was on the wall there, but you saw that in front of the AC/DC logos. And you can tell they didn't record any footage for their social media at all because of how bad the location was.
Here we are at this trashy place slinging overpriced merch. Come on down.
Luckily, it was cheaper. Like, the shirts were $45 rather than $50 at the show. I mean, it's not much of a difference, but...
Well, $5 is $5, man.
They also had cooler stuff, like an Angus Young statue you could buy, some, like, cool hats and magnets and all that stuff, and I got Jill a couple of things, because I guess her boyfriend's into AC/DC or something like that. So.
Nice. How was the Pretty Reckless?
They were awesome. It's sad to see that nobody really cared.
I was seeing footage, I think it was your footage, and there was, like, hardly anybody watching them.
Yeah, you can tell, like, the old timers were like, who are they? And they have to remind them, like, oh, that's Cindy Lou Who from the Grinch. Yeah. Oh, okay, I know who she is. And then they still don't really care.
Yeah, well, that's a bummer, but I'm glad you got to see them.
Yeah, they performed awesome. They were incredible. My dad even became a fan of them afterwards.
Nice.
You can tell, like, as you said, like previously, like, as we get older, nobody cares about new music, really.
No.
That's why a lot of these old heads are like, what's this Sleep Token? That's not metal.
Oh, yeah.
It's just because, like, even how I feel about today's pop music. I'm like, what's a duetchy or something like that? Like, what's the anxiety song? What's that thing, Oh,
yeah, wait till you're like 40.
Yeah.
Because the pop world, I mean, you feel really old when you look at that music.
Oh, yeah.
Rock and metal, a lot of the bands don't really hit it big till they're my age anyway. So, you still kind of feel in line with things. Where the pop world, those are like teenagers, putting out
weird,
music.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's weird seeing, like, NBA players who are 19 and making tons of more money than me, and they're much more successful.
Oh, yeah. Take a look at some of them YouTube broadcasters who are half my age making millions of dollars. That's great. That's fantastic.
I mean, PewDiePie, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, I think they're all older than me. Cody Ko's older than me.
Is he?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought he was very old.
He's in his early 30s.
Well, he's out of the biz now, ain't he?
Well, he's still doing videos on his secondary channel.
Yeah.
He's not doing it on the main channel. But
Well, that's what happens when you behave like an idiot. You know?
for sure. Yeah.
So
He's slowly trying to make that comeback without the comments there, and you can tell the fans really want him back.
he has the comments turned off. It's like, dude, you
Does
might
he?
as well just give up. I don't know. You said without the comments.
No, without there's no comments there. There's no bad comments. The comments are wanting him back.
Well, no matter what you do, you're always going to keep some kind of fan base.
Oh, yeah.
There are women who like to meet the serial killers, that
Ted
fall
Bundy.
in love with serial killers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. They romanticize them all the time on the internet.
I know, it's really crazy. I enjoy listening to true crime, but I'm not going to hit them up and be like, hey, dude, if you get out, you want to hang? Seem like it'd be a good dude to hang with.
Yeah, my friends keep sending me those Idaho penitentiary videos of those women. They're like, hit me up. Here's my number on the site or whatever.
Maybe you should give it a whirl, Peaches.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Maybe that's the route you need to take to
Sure.
find, Mrs. Peach.
Hi, Mom. I brought home a felon.
Hey, she might be really fun, Peaches. You like wild girls?
A fun felon. That's who she is. Her name's Tiffany.
Extreme horror is not for everybody. And, if you're a fan of Stephen King, you enjoy reading Stephen King or Dean Koontz, you might eventually find yourself looking for more horror. And you might end up in a place like the Extreme Horror Lit subreddit. I just want to let you know that extreme horror is truly extreme. I saw somebody post, what's a good Jack Ketchum book to start with? There's really not a good answer for that. But I would say don't make it The Girl Next Door, which is probably the most devastating, brutal, horrifying thing I've ever read. Now, it's one of the best written horror novels I've ever read because it seriously crushes you. It's horrible. It is the epitome of horror. But it is not for everybody. I mean, I read it one time. I've talked about this book before. And I tried to give it a second shot because I was so blown away the first time. It had been many years. I'm like, okay, maybe I could make it through it again. I read the first few pages. No way. And I was actually talking with some friends recently. And Jack Ketchum came up. And I guess years ago I had recommended the book cover, which I thought was not that bad. I guess it is pretty bad. So maybe, I don't know, if you can't handle movies like, Hostel or even much worse horror movies, you don't want to go anywhere near extreme horror literature because it is something else. All right? I enjoy being bothered when I read. I enjoy, walking away, feeling pretty down. That's not for everyone. So, I was going to leave a comment on this post, and I'm like, I don't even know what to say. I don't want to be the guy who's like, yeah, you should check out Jack Ketchum. Because I don't know if I've ever recommended Jack Ketchum to somebody and had them be like, dude, thank you so much. Usually it's like somebody who's like, I want to read something real crazy. I'm like, oh, here you go. And they're like, dude, why did you tell me to read that? Well, you asked. All right? You asked. All right. I'm currently on a scavenger hunt on Facebook, trying to determine who won the radio categories last night at the 2025 edition of Idaho's Best. Now, I'm sure you heard me talk about how we had won the Eastern Idaho region for Best Radio Show, the Viktor Wilt Show right here, as well as Best Radio Station for K-Bear. But I wanted to find out who the statewide winners were. Now, Ben from the Advocates was at the previous night of awards, and the Advocates, if you didn't hear, won the best, personal injury law firm for the entire state. Give it up for my homies, the Advocates. But they didn't announce the radio winners the night he was there, so he wasn't able to tell me what happened. The award ceremony was in Boise, and I just could not afford to go. So I started looking around on Facebook, and nobody else who won their region has posted about it. Now, I took a look at did I look at 101.9 The Bull in Boise? Hang on here. 101.9 The Bull, Boise. Let's see if they've posted anything about it. Congrats to us, we win. Let's see. Well, these guys post a lot. Some of these radio stations I was looking at don't post like ever. These guys, are they like a town square station or something? Why are they posting so much? All right, they haven't posted anything indicating they won best radio station in Idaho. So there was one guy, Joey Bravo out of Twin Falls. He was at the ceremony, and I feel kind of bad because I've heard of this guy over the years. I don't know if I've met him, but I did just right now add him as a Facebook friend. And I commented on his post, hey, who won the radio categories? Because he had a selfie there, and he did not post any follow-up like, hey, I won best radio show, which you'd think he was there. If he won, he would have posted it. So I don't know if it's bad form, but I left a comment on his post, hey, who won the radio categories? And I'm hoping he'll respond and give me some answers, because just simply based on the lack of information I'm finding online, I think we've got a pretty good shot at winning the state award for Best Radio Show and Best Radio Station. But Idaho's Best has not updated their website with the list of all the winners. Hopefully they'll do that today, or Joey Bravo will just let me know. But I would love to brighten up the day, because it's been an aggravating morning so far. I'd love to brighten up the day a bit by going, hey, we won! We won some stuff. I do like winning awards, even though, it's not like Jade gives me a pat on the back for it. He doesn't care. Nah, Jade's cool. Jade's cool. There have been other people I worked with who, boy, no matter how much you crush it, you just never hear a good job out of them. It's okay to tell people good job. Just want to remind you all of that. It's okay to, prop people up every now and again. But no, if we didn't win, it's totally cool. I enjoy seeing other radio people win, because honestly, we do win a lot of these awards. So it's okay to share the wealth sometimes. If only it resulted in wealth. I got piles of awards here and at my house. I don't think I've even got a meal out of one of them. Anyway, sorry, I'm sort of bragging, and I know some people don't like to hear that, so sorry. All right, I'll let you know if Joey Bravo gets back to me. Hopefully he doesn't think I'm being, a jerk, like I knew who won and was like, hey, who won? He's like, screw you, dude. Friend request declined. Thank you again for tuning in to the Viktor Wilt Show. This program is a production of Riverbend Media Group. To contact the show or for more information, hit us up at riverbendmediagroup.com.